Hello everyone. So today's our topic is liability car insurance definition, coverage limits and example. What is liability car insurance? Liability car insurance is a part of a car insurance policy that provides financial protection for a driver who harms someone else or their property while operating a vehicle. Car liability insurance only cover injury or damage to the third party and their property, not to the driver or the driver property, which may be separately covered by other part of their policy. The two components of liability car insurance are bodily injured liability and property damage liability. Every state except New Hampshire required drivers to have some degree of liability coverage. Key takeaways: liability car insurance provides financial protection for drivers who harm someone else or their property in a car accident. Bodily injured liability help cover medical expenses for those involvement in this experiment. Property damage liability help cover the cost of repairing the vehicles of other driver involved in this accident. Understanding car liability insurance. Liability car insurance help cover the cost of damage resulting from a car accident. In many states, if a driver is found to be at fault in the accident, their insurance company will pay the property and medical expenses of their parties involved in the accident up to a limit set by the policy. In state with no fault auto insurance, however, driver involved in an accident must first file a claim with their own insurance company regardless of who was at fault. In those states, drivers are typically required to purchase personal insurance protection (PIP) coverage, which cover their accident-related medical expenses as well as those of their passengers. Liability car insurance consists of two types of coverage. Bodily injury. The bodily injury liability portion of a car insurance policy cover an at fault driver so that they are not liable for other emergency and ongoing medical expenses, loss of income or funeral cost. It also help cover the policy holder legal fees which in the accident result in a lawsuit. Property damage liability help cover the cost of repairing or replacing the vehicle of other driver involved in the accident. It also covers the damage done to the other form of property by the policyholder vehicles, such as fencing, mailboxes, and building. Important falling to obtain liability coverage could result in your license being suspended, fines, or jail time for repeat offense. Liability car insurance cover liability car insurance has a dollar limit on each of its components depending on the level of coverage you choose when you buy policy. Those include liability limit for property damage. This limit is the maximum amount for a coverage for damage done to the property. Any cost that exceeds the limit become the responsible of the fault drivers. Liability limit for a bodily injured per person. The person per person limit is the maximum amount that the insurance company will pay out for each individual who has been injured in the accident. Liability limit for a bodily injury per accident. The liability limit per accident is a financial cap for the total amount that the insurance company will pay for the all the individual involved in accident. In other words, the policy will cover medical expenses for those injured in accident by the fault driver, but only up to a predicted total. The at a fault driver would then be liable for any medical expenses over that limit. Note: bodily injury liability coverage can protect your home and other asset in the event that you are a sudden driver. Requirement for liability for car insurance. If you have a considered assets to protect from possible lawsuit, you may also want considering buying an umbrella insurance policy which can increase the liability coverage on both your auto and home owner insurance policy to $1 million or more. Tip: Example of liability car insurance. There is example of how liability car insurance might work in a state without no fault insurance. Let's say the motorist had the following liability car insurance coverage with their insurance company. Bodily injured liability limit per person is $16,000. Bodily injured limit person accident is 1,50,000. The insurance get into accident involving multiple person has medical cost totaling $30,000. Person B has medical cost totally $40,000. C has a $30,000. The all fault driver liability will covered in this instant because each person who have involved in accident had medical expenses of $60,000. Also, the total cost for the involving. It is important to note that some policy will not any expenses beyond per accident, even if person limit has not exceeded. Using the example about, let's say each person has a medical expenses of $55,000, although those involved cost all fall in the per person limit of $16,000. The total cost of $65,000 is over the per accident limit of $1,50,000. As a result, that at-fault driver would be liable for the additional $1,500 liability versus full coverage automobile insurance. In addition to liability coverage, your state required insurance offer coverage knowledge, collision and comprehensive insurance. A policy with all three liability, collision and comprehension, it sometimes referred to providing full coverage. A full coverage policy will cost you more than a liability only policy, but it also protects you against more financial risk. Unlike property damage liability insurance, which cover another person's cars if you damage it, collision and comprehension insurance cover your own car. Collision insurance help pay to repair, to replace or your car if damage in accident involving other vehicle or an object such as tree or wall. Comprehensive insurance help to pay, replace or repair your vehicle if it is stolen or damaged. These two type of insurance are optical for vehicles that are armed, free and clean. But if the vehicle is financially, the lender may require that you have them. The lenders want to protect the vehicle's value since it serves as a collateral for the loan. Even if you are not required to have collision or comprehensive insurance, but because many of these provisions can be vary from state to state, is worth consulting a knowledgeable insurance agent or broker which is familiar with your state business is to help you compare. So that's all from this video. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe for more video.